Alright. Should be the last part of Awakening. And that means we've only literally got an hour left after this, so it's pretty cool. So, the game is pretty much giving you a direct, you know...
What?
do you know what? I can't bother with the Ogren, sorry. The game is pretty much giving you a... Oh, Christoph chest. I can get rid of some of my stuff, actually. There's quite a lot of things here that I can actually either sell or... I don't know.
Ooh, for me? Ooh.
I do not know quite how to thank you. You have my sincere thanks. You have my sincere thanks. A fine gift. My thanks. I don't think this is wise. A fine gift.
I'm leaving Ogren down there. I don't really care about him, so we can stay on neutral. I really don't care about him.
This is nice. This is nice. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that.
Okay.
Ooh, for me? Ooh. Thanks, I guess. Worst idea in the history of ever. Worst idea in the history of ever.
Okay. Oh, wait. Nathaniel can have... Locksmith tools.
This is nice. I don't like the sound of that. You know, I'm actually not the first How to be a Grey Warden.
Carrying on the family tradition, then.
Following in my grandfather's footsteps, more like. His name was Padric Howe. He joined the Order before it returned to Ferelden just after the war. Never contacted his family again. Just vanished. Now that I know about the joining, I think he died.
Many good men and women die in the joining.
I know that now. Father always said he was a horrible man for abandoning the family to join a pointless cause. I grew up ashamed of my grandfather. But now I see his bravery. That will take some getting used to.
The only shame is your father's.
My father often forgot that nobility has another meaning. You know, my grandfather had a bow passed down from his grandfather. I wonder if it's still around. At any rate, we should probably get back to it. There are darkspawn to kill, I'll bet. Somewhere.
Thing is with
Let's get moving.
with a lot of this stuff, the game isn't actually long enough to... It has the same... It has exactly the same structure as Origins, and like, you know, the closer you get this up here, the more people want to talk to you, you know, things like that. But the Awakening isn't long enough to get up there, and there's no cheat items in this now, so you can't force the game to give you, you know, really cool stuff. It's not good. It's not great.
So what would you do if you didn't have to be a Grey Warden?
I'd go back to court, I guess.
Ah, the old ball and chain, huh? I've never liked the idea of being trapped somewhere, to be honest. It reminds me of the Circle. After my 7th escape attempt, you'd think they'd have given me credit for trying.
How is it they didn't just execute you?
You know the Chantry. They don't believe in executions. If you die, they can't torment you. They can't make you tranquil once you've passed your harrowing. I'll wager they regret that rule. You know, there is one thing I miss about the tower. My cat.
You had a cat?
Mr. Wiggums. He wasn't my cat, he was the tower's mouser. But he took a liking to me. There were days when that stupid cat was the only person I saw. Except for not being a person. Still, I liked him. Poor Mr. Wiggums.
Why poor Mr. Wiggums?
He became possessed by a rage demon, but he did take out 3 Templars. Oh, I was never more proud. A toast to Mr. Wiggums, then. May he forever eat mice in the Fade.
Okay.
This world of yours is far more colorful than I imagined, and more noisy.
Got it.
This is a chest of belongings once owned by the man whose body I now inhabit. His essence lingers upon these objects like dust.
It's a little creepy, isn't it?
I think it is beautiful. In the Fade, nothing outlives the spirit that created it. Here, everything does. This world has fingerprints on top of fingerprints. Witness to beings long dead.
When you die, there's nothing left at all.
In the Fade, a spirit returns to the source. But here, I have no idea what happens if I die here. The man who owned these things was a great warden like yourself, yes? We intend to avenge him?
That's my hope.
Good. These Darkspawn are a cancer within the heart of this world. But there is nothing that can be done just yet, is there? A world so full of beauty that beauty goes overlooked. I must see it with different eyes. This world is nothing like I thought it would be. The demons lust to cross the veil, but the rest of us scoff. We pity mortals, we do not envy them.
Perhaps you should help us instead.
The spirits consider mortals beyond their reach, and beyond help. They do not understand. We are wrong about this world. There is beauty here, and the mortals, they are worth saving. You helped me in the Fade, and have proven yourself since. It is not right to judge all mortals the same.
Are you saying we're friends now?
A friend? That is an interesting concept. I do not know how to respond to that. I wonder, may I make a request? There is something in this world you call lyrium. Might you find me an object made from it?
You're no mage. What do you need lyrium for?
I desire only the smallest bit of pure rock. The version of lyrium that mortals dream of in the Fade, it is not the same. Here it sings. The sound is something only a spirit could hear, but it summons an ache I didn't know I had.
Let's see what I can do.
Thank you. That is most kind.
I don't think we're going to do that. I have to admit, because you know, the game is not built that way. I'm afraid it's just not like the.
You need anything, Commander?
Unfortunately, Awakening is not built with the. Well, it's not built with the. How do I put it? The scope and breadth to basically be able to, you know. That's quite good. It's almost as good as mine. Never mind. Yeah, basically, oh, hang on, I want that back, actually. Yeah, it's really not built with the scope in mind to actually let you go through the game and do all these things, you know? It's a shame, but it just is what it is. It just, you know... It's just how the game was made, unfortunately. See, there's no gifts here whatsoever. When you go outside, there's hardly any gifts there either. There's no real way to basically, you know, make your characters like you better.
Darkspawn don't kill themselves, you know. Wow. I've never seen so many books in my life.
And everyone is about Mabari hounds. Yawn.
This one's a Navaran romance. Pretty spicy, too, from the looks of it. What's an Antivan milk sandwich? Oh. Oh, I see. I'll just put that back. I've only read one book. My friend Varlin taught me while we were in the Legion. He only had the one. He's dead now.
Half the people I've ever met are dead too.
Varlin was special to me. He was a noble, once. From House Volney. I don't know why he ended up in the Legion. He wouldn't say. I saw death take my friends, knowing it would take him as well. I fought hard to keep us both alive. Varlin embraced the Legion's philosophy. That we were already dead. I couldn't let go like that.
That's why the last of the Legion.
Survival. That's what matters. That's what Dusttown taught me. If I'm gonna get through all these books before the Darkspawn find me, I need to get started.
Okay, that's it. We're not going to do any of the, you know, any of the companion stuff because it means that you've got to go back and start looking through the world and stuff. Doesn't really fit the story. There's no way you do this right now. Not when you're seeing this here, like all the nobles gathered for some reason. Yeah, it just makes no narrative sense. So, sorry about that. But again, the one main failure of Awakening is that it's not really built with the length in mind that you know, you can actually get all of these companions up to max, so you can actually talk to them and do their side quests and things. You know, they made the mistake of putting an Origins, you know, sized companion stories in a game that lasts about 6 hours, 7 hours. So it's unfortunate, but that's what it is.
Commander, many of the lords have gathered. The Darkspawn have fielded armies, and the nobles want to know how you will protect them. Shall I assemble them, or do you need more time to strategize?
Assemble the men, we're going to war.
I will send messengers at once.
We've waited enough. Those who are late will just have to be filled in.
Lord Edelbrecht, this is the commander of the Greys Council, not yours.
What will you do then, Commander? I've lost whole villages to the army of Darkspawn.
The enemy is out of hiding. We must find them and strike.
This is no...
Commander! Commander!
What is it, girl?
A Darkspawn army is within sight of Amaranthine.
Make her protect us. They're attacking the city?
Amaranthine has been undermanned for weeks. She may not last long.
Our forces cannot move quickly enough, but a small band might make it in time.
But that's... suicide.
We must try.
That would be me then. It's never dull here. No, I'll go, but who will defend the vigil?
Fighting a horde of Darkspawn with almost certain death awaiting? Don't even think of leaving me here, Captain.
Who do you want to take with you, Commander?
I won't deny Sigrun's request. She's with me.
I'm already dead. I've nothing to lose.
Who else will you bring?
Anders.
And here I thought I'd retire to the country with a plump wife and several nubile mistresses. I suppose it'll have to wait.
Who else will you bring?
Nathaniel, this is a chance to redeem your family.
Initially, I thought you were utterly mad to invite me to join your order. But redemption... a man could die for that, and feel good about it.
And so it is decided.
I'll make sure the Vigil's ale supply is safe. Leave a few Darkspawn skulls for me to kick in, right?
If I ever had doubts of you, they are erased. Fight nobly, and if you die, die with honor.
The rest of us will stay here. Maker protect you and hold you close, Commander.
So, the crux of the game is that, obviously, you can't save everything. So, you know, the Darkspawn are tracking everything. You know, what are you going to do? With, if you do all the upgrades like we did, though, to the keep, it will stand on its own. Especially if you leave warriors behind, like Oghren. So, I love the fact that they don't just take them out the fight. That's really cool. The fact that, you know, if you leave Oghren and another warrior behind, they hold... You know, they hold Vigil's Keep pretty easily. So, especially, we've upgraded everything. Dworkin's had all of his, you know, grenades. You know, we've upgraded our troops. We've, you know, pretty much done everything we can do. So. I think Sword Right's the most important upgrade.
Please, Grey Warden, save my family. My family's in the city.
Please calm yourselves while I speak to the Warden Commander. Warden Commander, I am glad you arrived when you did, but I fear there is little that can be done now.
Weren't you in charge of Amaranthine's defences?
I failed in my duty. But believe me, Warden Commander, there was no chance for success. A couple of nights ago, a swarm of gruesome creatures emerged from beneath the city. They spread pestilence and destroyed everything they touched. Then at dawn, the other Darkspawn attacked. Warden Commander, it's too late. Amaranthine is lost.
Snap out of it, man. People still live.
The buildings might remain, but there will be few survivors so long after those creatures appeared. Their corruption is so virulent. At least a quarter of the city succumbed within the first day.
Constable, there is a Darkspawn approaching. Alone.
Archers! Take him down!
Peace. Do not be killing. Only talk. Architect has a message for Grey Warden.
Spit it out before I kill you. Oh, what's happened there?
The Mother's army. It marches to Vigil's Keep. She attacks now. The Architect, he sends me to warn you. You must save the Keep, then finish the Mother in her lair.
Vigil's Keep is under attack.
The Grey Wardens are valuable to the Architect. The Mother, she knows this.
If we leave now, we may be able to make it back to the Vigil in time to save it.
And what about the Darkspawn here?
Soon, they will go to Vigil's Keep as well. The Mother, she wants the Keep destroyed utterly.
The Darkspawn has a point. We cannot leave with this other army hot on our heels. The Constable says the city is lost. I say we destroy it, burn it, and all the Darkspawn within.
I'm not giving up on Amaranthine.
Warden Commander, we have already lost Amaranthine. We can't lose the Vigil as well.
It's a tough building. You know, I have faith in the fortress I've built.
Commander, we can't save Amaranthine if it's already lost. We can still save the Vigil.
If we destroy this city, we're no better than the Darkspawn. The Commander is right. We have to try.
I don't want to see fire ravage these streets, but it may be our only chance.
Your sister's in there, right? Or if there's a chance we could save someone, anyone.
It would take a miracle. I will follow your lead, Commander.
No, no. If you stay, the mother will get what she wants.
You fight with us and I'll show you mercy.
I will go. I will do as the Grey Warden bids.
Amaranthine, then. The Darkspawn are never disorganized on their own. Something must be leading them. If we eliminate the Darkspawn leadership, we can go about finding survivors.
Good luck to you. And make her watch over us all.
So that was the choice. You can destroy the city, but my choice was to because we built a huge fortress, so it's time to use it. Cost us enough money.
Push them back.
It's murders all of them.
Run while you still can. I love how desperate you are. You're pathetic. You don't stand a chance. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? You have no skill, only desperation!
Guys, it's a bug. Come on, over here. Right, okay.
I'll get on it.
Need to rest soon.
Yeah, because you're using all of your energy on something that can't fucking die, so yeah.
Warden Commander, we've received word of another wave of Darkspawn approaching the city. They will be here within a day.
They'll fall before my might.
It's good that you're on our side, then. Most of the survivors are taking refuge in the Chantry. The militia has set up a base of operations there. You can rest and resupply there. In the meantime, my men and I will search for more survivors.
I was worried that that glitch would like stop it from advancing the story, but it didn't, which is good. This is good.
I'll get on it.
Warden Commander, come quickly. The Darkspawn are still breaking through.
Calm down, explain yourself.
The inn! They're coming from the inn somehow.
Oh, must have taken rooms there.
What? Is that a joke? You can stop the Darkspawn, can't you?
I'll head to the inn.
May God bless you, Warden Commander.
Guess we're heading straight back out again. There. Don't really need much of this stuff for this part, but it's all good. Guys, you better be moving. There's something with this. There's something with this. I don't like it. I don't like the way it does this. What, are they both down? Why are they both down? What the hell happened? There was no one here.
Hit them.
We weren't fighting any... What is it doing? The game is buckling. That's it.
Got it.
What happened there? What happened there? God knows why you guys went down.
I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know why they went down. I need to watch that back. But it is getting very buggy towards the end here. It's getting very, a lot of very strange things are going on.
Twisted creatures.
Not too hastily.
What is your command?
Okay. Murdered the shit out of you, dude. That Flemeth's broomstick. Yeah, it was. Okay. The better than what you've got? Yeah, it is good. Have that one. Do quite like haste. It's very, very good. Ooh. how he just shrugs it off now.
Time for your
All right. Excellent!
Commander, the Darkspawn are retreating.
How does the keep fare?
We haven't heard much, but what we have heard is not good. The Architect's messenger has given us directions to the Mother's lair. We must pursue her.
What about the Architect?
The messenger said the Architect also planned to kill the Mother. I do not know what to make of that.
Mother or Architect, they're both monsters, both must die.
Commander, what should we do with the messenger?
Let him go.
It shall be as you say. Make her watch over you, Commander.
Only because something really funny happens if you do let him go. Is that my favourite ending slide ever?
Praise the Maker.
You saved us, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I found something under my bed at the key. Something tells me it's yours.
Miss Maggie. I remember her. She's not mine. She belonged to my sister, Delilah. Miss Maggie was her favorite doll.
Miss Maggie appears to be missing her arms.
Delilah and I had a fight. Then I ripped off Maggie's arms and hid them in places where Delilah would find them later.
What a sweetheart you were.
Right. Dragon Bone Waste time. It says that the keep's been destroyed, but I know it hasn't. Well, I'm hoping it bloody well hasn't either. Anyway, because we did every upgrade we could.
Twisted creatures.
You can fuck right off.
Now,
Got it. Okay, now I can heal. Ha ha ha!
can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Got it. We have done well.
That was like quite tough.
No end to these blasted things.
Well, hell was that?
I'll get on it.
Okay.
Breaking a sweat already.
Sorry, love, if you're not going to listen to me, then I'm afraid death's all you deserve.
Got it. I'll get on it.
For God's sake. I hope you just saw that. That is an utter cheat if ever I saw one. Told Nathaniel to take a potion about, what, 3-4 seconds ago? Nothing's stopping him. There's the only thing, he's on fire, but there's nothing else stopping him taking that potion. He doesn't take it just long enough for the dragon to put a fireball in and kill him. Yeah. Okay. An almighty piece of cod. It really does love its dragons, this game. I know it's called Dragon Age, but, you know, still. Goodbye. We got him. No loot on him whatsoever. get in here, shall we? Very close to the end now.
On your guard.
Told him where to go. Don't want to touch on these fleshy sacks. That's what she said. Well, that went well.
And so we meet again. No, Uther. That is not how this must begin. I owe you an apology, Commander. When last we met, I intended to explain myself. Fate, however, intervened.
I escaped, you mean?
I restrained you, only to prevent the misunderstanding that occurred with the rest of your water.
Misunderstanding? Is that what you call it?
I sent the Wizards to ask for the Grey Warden's help. I should have anticipated that you might view our approach as an attack. I am rarely able to judge how your kind will react. It was most unfortunate.
Unfortunate you took those men and bled them dry.
The Grey Wardens that were brought to me were already dead. I took their blood just as I took yours, because I had little choice. Things have not gone as I planned. I only ask that you hear me out. Should you still wish to slay me afterwards, you may try.
Fine.
My kind has ever been driven to seek out the old gods. This is our nature. When we find one, a blight is begun. Each time we attack your surface lands and you fight back until we are defeated. To break the cycle, my brethren must be freed of their compulsion. For that, I need Grey Warden blood.
You're trying to stop the blights?
Hundreds of thousands of my kind are killed before each blight is ended. It is a plague on our race. We do not begin a blight because we crave power or destruction. We obey the call of the old gods, without choice.
What do you need the blood for?
In order to become what you are, you drink the blood of my kind. To transform. Similarly, we must transform. I have created a version of your joining that uses the blood of Grey Wardens. You take the taint into yourself. What we take is your resistance. That is how my brethren are freed. In your blood lies the key to their immunity against the call of the old gods.
I like my blood where it is, in my veins.
That's weird. Some Darkspawn seem intelligent, others are insane.
Once they are freed, the Darkspawn think for themselves. They speak, they act. Some, however, have reacted poorly. They are flawed and they rage against me. The Mother gathers them to stop me, as she seeks to stop you. I cannot defeat the Mother alone, and I cannot free the Darkspawn unless she is defeated. Our goals are the same.
This reeks of stupid. The last thing we need is more Darkspawn thinking for themselves.
Darkspawn or no, he has a good point. Do we really want to keep killing each other forever?
Help me kill the Mother, and after it is done, I will leave to continue my work.
Perhaps the other Darkspawn don't want to be free, and that's why the Mother went mad.
And how would they know when the choice has been deprived of them? Without choice, there is only one path before them, and that leads to the Blight. I believe there is another way.
Who is this Mother exactly?
My most flawed creation. Freedom drove her mad, and she has poisoned the minds of the others. She has influence with the ones who have not been freed, and she gathers them as an army. I do not seek to rule, my brethren. I only seek to release them from their chains.
How did you become freed?
I was born as I am, an outsider amongst my kind. Why? I do not know. Why do some of your kind become Grey Wardens? Why do some possess magic? I have no answers.
No, this ends here.
But we could have stopped this cycle of blights and old gods.
How very unfortunate. But I cannot blame you. You are as bound to your nature as we are to ours. I am sorry, Uther. It appears that I will not be able to keep my promise after all. You will have to forgive me, Commander, for fighting to preserve my destiny.
Oops, shouldn't have done that so early.
Right,
What are they fighting? Oh. She's nearly dead anyway. nasty smell, that, isn't it? How long does this bloody spell go on for? Oh, okay. Christ, he's giving... This spell's lasting a long time. Another one of these, okay, cool. Wow. It certainly likes doing it, doesn't it? I think we should have him now. Come on. God, Anders. Take all that shit. I've never killed him before. Normally I sort of see where he's coming from, but I kind of know that, especially in this story, the game sort of hints that you shouldn't do that later on, because, you know, you shouldn't be making deals with Darkspawn if you're a Grey Warden and things like that. And plus he's deceiving you as well, because he indirectly, the architect, caused the blight that you just stopped in the actual main game when he tried to purify the archdemon, and obviously it went awry. I think you'll find that out anyway now after this, but I just wanted to say it now. Obviously I don't know that as the character, but at the same time, Royce wouldn't trust this guy, not by a long shot, So, and he did say they both had to die, so he's gonna you know, do what he promised to do. What else? Oh yeah, funnily enough, that this is not a part of the story that will last, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, the Architect story sort of ends here. It doesn't really do anything else. It didn't come up in Dragon Age 2, I don't think, and it definitely didn't come up in Dragon Age Inquisition. So, not really sure how it's gonna go. But yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't really go anywhere. Can you do haste again, please? I don't know why it's not on, but... Go.
Just call me the Reaper!
think there's an enemy down there. Yep.
On your guard.
Good lord. Level 30, I think that's max level, isn't it? Yes, I think it is. Alright. Saving it there just in case. Hmm? There we go.
If it isn't the hero of the hour, the slayer of the mighty father, come to claim a reward. Oh, what a delicious day.
They just get bigger and uglier, don't they?
What is that?
By the ancestors, do all brood mothers smell this bad?
Am I not beautiful? Has the Grey Warden come now to slay the mother too? Will she join the father in oblivion?
I want some answers.
Answers? But you are brave. Once, beautiful music sang to us from the deep, called us near. We would search for that voice. But the father, he was flawed. He heard only a twisted shadow of it. He hated what it did to us. He said he wanted to free us, but all he brought us was silence. Dreadful silence. But now the father is gone. The mother can take her children deep into the earth and care for them, safe and sound.
Till next time you send them to attack us again.
Oh, the mother knows your ways. You will not let her be, no, not after what she's done. So it must end. It all must come crashing down! Perhaps we will hear the song again when we die. Oh, let it come. Let it come.
Twisted.
It's just, you know. Probably gonna need bit of indomitable. She can be quite a difficult boss to kill, actually. Forgot it. I'm sick of... I am really sick. I am really sick of this. How many times do I need to tell people to do things before they actually... Like, seriously?
Ready.
Thank you. I swear it does it on purpose. I really do. You guys just kill these things, right? Not you, you take a bloody potion. And do it, please, rather than, you know, thank you. Does that all the time. I don't know why it started doing that.
Did your command?
There we go.
As you
For God, will you stop? Fuck. He puts all these things on that just drain him of everything. Just stop it. Stop doing that, please. Stop it. Whew. Once again. shot at, but
Speak, and it will be done.
You're gonna regret this!
Got it. I'll get on it.
good.
What is my task?
Good. Okay. That did it. I think that won it for us.
To the ground! I'll get on it.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I have Indomitable on. Will you stop making up the fucking rules as you go? Why does it do this constantly? This stage of the game? See what I mean? Clean sweep, baby. Very frustrating how it does that. You stick Indomitable on it, and it just, you know, keeps knocking you back and stuff. Anyway, After the deaths of both the Architect and the Mother, nearly all the remaining Darkspawn fled back into the deep roads. The raids on Amaranthine came to an abrupt end. Although some of the Architect's disciples likely escaped into the deep roads and with the rest of their brethren, they have, so far, shown no inclination towards vengeance against the Grey Wardens who killed their saviour. Yet the deep roads remain plagued by the Darkspawn, and it seems certain that in time another blight will begin. The danger may have passed for now, but the cycle of the old gods continues. It was always going to continue though, wasn't it? Word of the Grey Warden's heroic salvation of Amaranthine spread like wildfire. When the magnitude of the losses at Vigil's Keep came to light, sympathy drove generous donations from all over Ferelden into the region's coffers. Amaranthine was restored to a formal glory within a year. Vigil's Keep in 5. Because of the Grey Warden's support for law and order in Amaranthine, Constable Aiden and his men were able to distribute the smugglers' goods to the battered survivors in the grueling days that followed the Darkspawn defeat. The Darkspawn messenger, set free after joining the Warden in the Battle of Amaranthine, struck out on his own. The city soon buzzed with stories of a cloaked-foot lisping figure who aided travellers in danger. At the same time, reports of isolated cases of the Darkspawn disease emerged. No one connected the two, so he basically turns into Batman. I love that. Oh, I love it. Darkspawn Batman. The war devastated the farmholds of the Arling, but the land survived. In time, opportunity would attract settlers from other regions, as always. Dirk, one of the pranksters behind the Blight Orphans scam, was fortunate enough to survive the Battle of Amaranthine. The unconditional generosity of the Blight Orphans' mysterious benefactor inspired him to establish a legitimate charity dedicated to children orphaned in the attack. His sweetheart, Melissa, survived, but eventually bore him 2 rascals. We didn't meet them, but yeah. Vigil's Keep stood alone against a horde of Darkspawn. The Mother's forces outnumbered the Vigil's defenders many times over. But the sturdy dwarven walls proved impervious to any boulder an ogre could throw. The Vigil's soldiers, clad in silverite, each felled a dozen Darkspawn before they died. The Vigil held 1 night, then 2, then a week, and eventually the attacking horde broke upon her walls. The Keep developed an almost mythic reputation, the few survivors immortalized in song and legend. Yeah, baby. The Vigil became a trading hub that would eventually eclipse the city of Amaranthine, the traders reassured by guards continually patrolling the pilgrim's path. Prosperity bred scheming and treachery between merchants and nobles, testing the commander's patience for years to come. Peace allowed the Wardens to replenish their numbers. Soon Vigil's Keep bore a capable army with Wardens at its core. From their ranks emerged new heroes to challenge the threats to Amaranthine and all of Ferelden. Through taxes and levies, the Vigil was rebuilt. Years later, Voldric Glavanak stood on the battlements and pronounced that the defences were acceptable. He would never speak more highly of any human engineering. Soon, nobles claimed the Grey Wardens were involved in Ban Esmerald's disappearance on the eve of the final battle against the Darkspawn. Dark whispers hint that a conspiracy to oust the Wardens from Amaranthine is still afoot. Among the many legends that the Vigil spawned was one of the great heroes of the next age, a sheepherder turned soldier named Sir Alec the Valiant, who eventually founded an order of knights that lasted 1,000 years. Oh, okay. Dworkin Glavanak further refined his lyrium sand explosive, but left the Warden's employ after Canori mercenaries tried to assassinate him. Although the Dwarven bombardier took his secrets with him, the learned say he left clues for others to follow in his footsteps. The Vigilant soldiers, wearing the distinctive silverite armour that Master Wade crafted, came to be known as the Silver Order. Under the tutelage of the Wardens, the Silver Order developed into one of Ferelden's most revered military forces, a lasting memory to the Vigil's famous commander. That would be Royce. After the Grey Wardens drove the Architect and his Darkspawn from the Pilgrim's Path, the Merchants Guild attempted to run caravans through the Wending Wood once more. If this elf makes trouble, I swear to God. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I told you. Told you. Told you. But Valena had remained in the Wending Wood to search unsuccessfully for her sister. She considered the wood her territory and summoned Sylvans to frighten the merchants. The traders soon abandoned the Pilgrim's Path and found a different route to Denerim. Longer, but much less dangerous. I hate her so much. I hate her so much. The fact that the game takes it out of your hands when you try to stop her as well. you can only stop her by being nice, and by treating her like a victim when she's not the victim. She's like killed hundreds of people. Screw that person. Seriously. Can't stand it when games do that. After you, I guess, having to go a bit of a longer way around is not that much of a big deal, but still. So, after a few years after Calharol was emptied of Darkspawn, Orzammar began sending expeditions to rediscover the knowledge of smithing that had been lost within the Tig. Eventually, House Helmi decided that Calharol was too important to be abandoned. At a tremendous cost of dwarven lives, they cleared the tunnels leading to Calharol of Old Darkspawn, making the road between Orzammar and the fortress safe again. Calharol was reclaimed for Orzammar, once and for all. That's cool. In time, the Arling began to forget the tales of apparitions in the Black Marsh, and ever so slowly, settlers drifted into the regions. Scholars said the Vale was still thin and thus the area still dangerous, but the people only cared that they were no longer frightened of whispers in the shadows. The village was slowly rebuilt. Twice the Baroness's mansion was rebuilt and occupied, once by a wealthy merchant and another time by an Orlesian mage. Both died mysteriously. Afterwards the mansion was torn down completely, and the site left untouched. Anders remained with the Grey Wardens a few years longer, training the Order's next generation of mages, but when the Circle Tower called on him to deliver a lecture on the nature of the Architect, much to the Templars' dismay, Alistair told the commander of the Grey that his time with the Wardens was over. Now that Anders was no longer a Warden, the Templars declared him apostate, finally catching the mage when he tried to destroy his phylactery. He escaped the tower an 8th time, then a 9th, before disappearing entirely. After spending a number of years with the Wardens, Nathaniel realised life was not for him. He said goodbye to his sister Delilah and his new nephew, then left to seek his fortune. In time, the nephew became a Grey Warden himself, in emulation of Nathaniel, then rose to Warden Commander. He brought honour to the Howe name once again. That's cool. I mean, Rendon Howe would hate that, but, whatever. I quite like that. Justice fought valiantly at the Battle for Vigil's Keep, but before the victory horn had sounded, a Darkspawn sword removed Kristoff's head. It was, of course, unclear whether the spirit of justice perished or simply departed. At least, Kristoff's wife, Aura, was finally able to claim her husband's ashes. With the mother dead, Sigrun seemed to lose her purpose. She withdrew from her friends in the Order and spoke to them less and less each day. One morning, Sigrun was simply absent, her bed made and her bunk emptied. A young recruit who had been up in the night said she had left for her calling, gone to finish what she started in Calharol. At Vigil's Keep, Ogren rallied a last-minute defence of the gate, taking on 2 ogres simultaneously to allow others time to regain the courtyard. He eventually passed out from blood loss, and when he woke weeks later, nobody was more surprised than he to discover he had been credited as a hero. Ogren continued to regale young Warden recruits with tales of his prowess in both battle and bed. His drinking games prompted at least one recruit to declare that she'd rather re-attempt joining than lift another mug. Felsi returned to Vigil's Keep several times to see Ogren, usually bringing their toddler as well. Ogren's inability to act seriously wore on her, however, surprise, surprise, and her visits dwindled, then stopped altogether. If Ogren misses her, or his child, he never showed it, so Felsi must be his lover. But, we never got to meet her because we just don't like Ogren that much. As for the saviour of Ferelden, he did not remain as commander of the Grey for long. The Darkspawn were no longer a real concern. The Blight was well and truly over. It was time for him to move on. He returned to life at court, resuming his duties as Prince Consort of Ferelden, and receiving a hero's welcome when he rode back into the capital. Queen Honora awaited him at the palace gates, and even she could not resist a smile at the sight of the kingdom's hero returned. Seems like things are going well on that marriage, at least. Some years later, the saviour of Ferelden vanished entirely. Nobody knows for what purpose he departed, yet neither does anyone think his tale is complete. There we go. That is Dragon Age Awakening. So, it's a lovely little expansion. It really is. Very, very fun. Different mechanics than the original game. I do think that Soldier's Peak in the main game, I think they did want to make Soldier's Peak very much like how the Vigil acts in Awakening, but didn't have time or resources to do it, and so they waited a while, and eventually they got to do what they wanted to do, and with the keep, with the Vigil's keep. Story's pretty good. I like the way that it carries on the Blight a little bit and lets you delve into more of the lore. I don't think it gives you enough of that stuff, and I think that's a failing with Dragon Age Origins overall. Well, at least things from here on in. Dragon Age Origins gave you loads of lore to go through and lots of answers and stuff, and it was a game of discovery. You're discovering this world for the first time. In Dragon Age Awakening onwards, and Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition, those answers sort of dry up, and you're left with more questions than answers. And in Dragon Age Inquisition, that comes to a head, and you really don't get many answers. You get loads of questions, which is really frustrating, at least in the main campaign, anyway. So I think that's one of the main reasons why Origins is so good, is that it gives you a beginning, a middle, and an end, and leaves you wanting more. There's nothing wrong with that. Storytellers should really get on top of that, especially with games and stuff, because a lot of the time there's sequel baiting, and a lot of people saying, oh yeah, but we're going to do something with the sequel, but make sure you come back. Well, if you make your original game good enough, I'll come back regardless. I don't think enough people are that bothered about that. They should be. So Awakening in itself, gives you some answers. Obviously the if you play the game right. Obviously we didn't this time, because we didn't even learn that the architect was the man behind the original Blight, the Blight in Dragon Age Origins. It didn't mean to be, but he was. You only find that out if he helps you kill the mother, and then he disappears after that and gets away, even if you want to kill him for deceiving you. So I think that's it's kind of a worst of all worlds sort of a scenario, and that's something that BioWare are guilty of in quite a few games, especially this one, especially Awakening. Did you see any happy endings there? I didn't. And we did everything right, essentially. Everyone sort of leaves. No one really sticks around, which I guess is fine, because they want to put characters in different places as the games go on. But still, it'd be nice to have a bit of a happier ending for everybody. But I guess the world isn't like that. The world is very, it's not ideal. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say on it. It's basically Dragon Age Origins with some improvements to its mechanics. Yeah, and by the end of it, obviously your Warden is the most overpowered thing on the face of the earth, to be honest with you. But when Royce came back from Saheron at the end of the Dragon Age Origins, he took up his mission as Warden Commander. He's still technically Warden Commander, even though he's gone back to the capital. And after a little while, hopefully Honora's pregnant by now, we'll see. I don't think I gets to find that out, but, he's leaving. He's off, he's leaving, and he's going to go and try and find Morrigan, who actually has his child in the next part, so that's going to be really, really interesting. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Obviously, we'll be doing Witch Hunt next. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. It's a nice expansion. Gives us new answers and very many new questions. As I said before, it doesn't really give you enough time to get to know the characters enough for you to care about their backstories, which is a shame. I'm assuming you would find pretty cool stuff if you carried on and actually went to 100% stuff, but I don't think it's worth the extra 4 or 5 hours that it would take to unlock it, to be honest with you. So obviously, maybe if you want to look at that stuff, then look for yourself. This is a lore run, but it's a lore run of Royce's story and things that he would do. And he wouldn't drop everything at the Vigils Keep to go and try and find a locket for Kristoff, for instance, Aside from that, thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys later. Have a good one.